Hey everybody, this is Pooka bringing you another game I played from Bad Deck Monday on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. In this match, I'm going to be facing off against a player named JAnnichiarico. I believe he's from the Northeast New Jersey area. Not sure which state exactly, but somewhere in that area. He is a somewhat known player, and I will be using my Beautifly deck. So for those of you who don't know what Beautifly does, for 1 energy, you get to search your deck for 3 different types of energy and attach them to your Pokemon however you want to. So the whole strategy is just to get Beautifly into play and power up a bunch of weird attackers and go from there. That's pretty much it. It's just another source of energy acceleration at the cost of getting a Stage 2 Pokemon into play and using an attack. This would be why it's a bad deck. Now, my opponent is taking an extremely long time to put down a basic, so I do apologize for that, but at least I get to explain the deck a little bit. And there we go. I'm going to put down a Wurmple as well. I start with Virizion. You have to run a lot of grass and blend energy just in order to use Beautifly's triple energy. It does cost a grass, so a couple of the Pokemon in my deck are just going to be grass Pokemon for that reason. Now, I start off with an Ultra Ball. I could Ultra Ball for something, but I don't really need anything. I could put down the Tornadus, but I don't see that being very useful against a Darkrai deck. And you can see here I get a decent start. I get a Ho-Oh, which is also another way to accelerate energy in this deck. And then I'm going to double draw for 2 and get the dreaded triple Juniper in my hand. So that means if I ever play one of those Professor Junipers, I have to then discard 2 more. Which means I'm not going to have supporters to work with near the end of the game. I still don't know what my opponent is actually playing. It's some sort of Darkrai deck, obviously. But that could mean a whole lot of things. It could mean a Darkrai Terrakion deck. Could mean a Darkrai Hydreigon deck. Could be just straight up Crushing Hammer. But he discards a Grass and a Dark. So Grass Energy is not something you see very often. But that means he probably plays Shaman EX somewhere in there. But we'll see. He starts off pretty strong with a Dark Patch onto his Sableye turn 1, and then he also attaches to the active, so he will be able to use Junk Hunt, and he has a Roselia as well. I am frantically trying to click on his discard pile to see what's in there, but the dreaded glitch comes up, where I cannot look at my opponent's discard pile for some unknown reason. He just won't let me look at it, and yeah, I don't know what to do. So I won't be able to see exactly what's in his discard pile, but oh well. Then he's going to go for an energy switch, and then looks like an energy search as well, so I am for sure getting Night Spirit next turn. The only way I'm going to prevent that is by catching out Roselia, which is what I'm going to do there. And there goes the Juniper. That is so painful. Have to discard 3 cards. Ugh. Discard 3 Junipers, I mean, that's gonna be a long game probably. So I do get another Wurmple out here. I'm gonna save the Ultra Ball, I think, for when I get a rare candy. Getting a Silcoon out doesn't really help me that much, and then I'm gonna double draw for 2 more cards. Virizion is a nice starter. You get to draw 2 every turn, and I do get the Bouffalant out there, which is gonna be very, very helpful in a matchup like this because Bouffalant is very good against Darkrai. The Boofer ability makes it take 20 less, which is huge, and then Goldbreaker actually hits it for 120, which is a 2-hit knockout. So I enjoy Bouffalant very much in this matchup. We'll see if I can make use of it at all, though. It looks like I'm getting Night Speared. Turn 2 Night Spear, that's ouch. It's not something I want to deal with. Fortunately, I did go first, so it's not as painful. And my opponent will get another Juniper here. So, I don't actually think Darkrai is that bad for this deck. As you can see, I have a Terrakion in my hand. I have that Bouffalant. I have the tools to deal with Darkrai. It's just I need to get some stuff set up before I actually do that. I have a Giratina EX, because it also uses both the types on the blend energy, Grass and Psychic. So I play Giratina EX as well. All sorts of stuff in this deck for sure. Here I'm going to Ultra Ball away. Looks like another Wurmple, and then another Ultra Ball. I guess I'm just going for a Silcoon at this point, just because I would like to evolve that the Wurmple that has 30 on it already. Silcoon is the one that evolves into Beautifly, by the way. Cascoon is the one that goes into Dustox. The more you know. But doesn't look like I get anything again. I'm going to have to just settle for a turn of double drawing once again, which means if my opponent has a catcher, I am in a bad spot. But I could go for a holo here. If I get a rebirth off, I can energy switch onto Bouffalant, and then Gold Breaker this turn. I'll actually be in a good position. But I get Tails on the rebirth. That's a bummer. So I'm going to have to attach to the Bouffalant and then just kind of accept that I'm getting Night Spear next turn again. And it's going to be painful. And I can't really do much about it. So my opponent gets down another Darkrai and then a Roserade, which will let him use Le Parfum to search for any card, as you can see there. It's a very nice ability. So I'm guessing we'll see something like, well, looks like a Juniper, actually. I was thinking something like a catcher, but apparently he didn't have a supporter. So looks like he goes for Juniper instead to just get a fresh hand of 7. That works. We'll see if he gets a catcher. The catcher would allow him to bring up the Silcoon. And we do see a Devolution Spray as well, so he'll be able to use Le Parfum once again next turn. But the catcher would allow him to catcher Silcoon and then hit Virizion for the 30 for a knockout. But it looks like he does not have a catcher. So it's just going to be a simple knockout on my Virizion and then 30 somewhere else. Probably see it go on to, I could go on Wurmple or Silcoon. Doesn't actually matter, I don't think. Both things, or both those Night Spears would threaten some sort of a knockout. I would actually probably go for Silcoon if I were him, just because if that ever evolves into Beautifly, then you have a clear knockout on it. It does have 120 hit points. Actually, never mind then. I was thinking it had 130 for some reason. That's just how bad Beautifly is. It only has 120 hit points still. But now I'm going to Ultra Ball. We'll discard a Random Receiver and a Tornadus, just because I don't think I'll need Tornadus in this matchup at all, and start to get my Beautifly into play. So it turns out his Night Spear decision was really good. And now I'm just going to end. I'm pretty sure I'll draw an energy because there's like 18 energy in this deck, because you have to run so many different types. And yes, I get the energy onto Bouffalant, and I can Gold Breaker for 100. So here, you know, my Bouffalant's going to get hit for 70, but, you know, I'm actually not in that terrible of a position. He's only taken 1 prize so far. I will be able to knock out that Darkrai unless he retreats. So I'm not too worried about it. You know, he's going to energy switch, hit me for 70, but I'm going to be doing a lot of damage to his Darkrai's. And I'm going to get another Beautifly out, apparently. And I'll have a Terrakion to work with as well. So, things are looking alright. Bouffalant puts a lot of hurt on Darkrai. I will be able to get Beautifly out here to prevent another Night Spear knockout. So I should probably evolve that, which I will. From here, let's see, I still have that Ho-Oh in my discard pile. That's going to come in handy. You know, I can rebirth, get that back into play, and then at some point I should be able to energy switch off of it, just to power up something a little quicker. I haven't had any opportunities to really use Beautifly this game. He's gotten too much pressure on me early on. If I ever took a turn to use triple energy, I would probably be in some trouble. And now, you know, he's powering up more Darkrai's. It looks like this is just kind of a straight Darkrai deck with maybe a Shaman at the end, and then Roserade for some consistency. We do see a Super Rod. We'll see what that puts in. You don't really see Super Rod too often in these Darkrai decks, especially the straightforward Darkrai ones. So we'll see. He puts in a Sableye, a Darkrai, and another Sableye. I guess he just wanted more attackers back, just in case. And then a Bianca. So maybe it's just to thin out his hand a little bit to draw an extra card. But my opponent really does need a catcher here. If he takes the knockout on the Bouffalant, then Terrakion comes up and retaliates and knocks out a Darkrai for sure. If he does have a catcher, he can bring out the Terrakion. That's what he's going to target down, I'm sure. And then we see a Dark Patch as well, so he might be able to attack with that Darkrai with no damage on it. Or he's going to go with the other one. You know, if he catches out the Terrakion and does not retreat, then I can retaliate him for 60. So that's why he's powering up that other Darkrai with the Eviolite that only has 100 damage on it. Because now he's not in any danger of being knocked out by Terrakion. Unless I were to get like an energy switch and a fighting, which I don't have. So now, where do I go from here? I mean, Terrakion's going down. That Beautifly is going to get hit for a double knockout on the Terrakion and the Beautifly. So I really don't know what's going to happen next. My options are running low. You know, I do always have Shaman EX to fall back on at some point. That is a very, very good late game closer. I'm going to put down Giratina EX because I got nothing else. There's no point in actually attaching to the Terrakion to do 40 with Retaliate. It doesn't help me with any numbers. It does not make it easier to knock him out. Bouffalant's going to do 100 with Gold Breaker no matter what. Giratina would do 90 with Shred no matter what. So, doesn't really matter. And now, things are not looking good, that's for sure. Terrakion's going to go down, which is my main defense against Darkrai. And Bouffalant's already got a ton of damage on it, which is my second line of defense against Darkrai. And my Beautiflies are doing nothing, they're pretty much just pretty paperweights out there. So, the whole strategy of my deck is not really working so far. I can get like Ho-Oh into play at some point, maybe nail him with an N after he takes a bunch of prizes. He's going to knock out the active Terrakion here. He can just take another knockout on the Beautifly as well. Or he can target down the Giratina EX. Either one is acceptable. And it looks like he's going to decide to go for the Beautifly. And now, all I can do is really Gold Breaker this turn, I suppose. I don't really have anything in my hand either. So this is going to be a very difficult position to come back from. I'm down 3 prizes. My Bouffalant is all beat up. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So I will be able to Gold Breaker at least. Maybe I should start using Rebirth. Just, you know, to try to get some more energy in play. Get my Ho-Oh out here. I should definitely attach to Giratina EX. Shred is a pretty solid attack. You know, Giratina EX overall is a very weak EX. Just does not do much for you. But Shred is a pretty powerful attack overall. It's the same attack that the Shiny Rayquaza has. That does 90, and it goes past Eviolite as well. So it's very, very nice to have. Now I have a Super Rod here, so I think I'm going to shuffle back in Terrakion to give myself some hope. Basically, I'm just going to shuffle in stuff that would give me, well, just pretty much bulky Pokemon that can survive Night Spheres at this point. That's what I'm going to be shuffling in here. So Terrakion, Tornadus, maybe even Virizion. I might be better off just shuffling in an Energy before Virizion, though. So, we'll see. Yeah, so I put in a random Energy, and then Tornadus and Terrakion. But I take my first knockout. Things are looking alright. And we'll see what happens from here. You know, my Bouffalant's going to get knocked out. I get a Juniper off the prize and a Blend. So I should be able to Shred next turn. And then I'll be down to 2 prizes. Who knows what happens from there. He's got an 8-card hand, though. So this is the biggest thing holding me back. I don't know how I'm going to win this game. He can knock out the Bouffalant, and then, you know, he can just hit the Giratina for 30. He'll be down to 2 prizes. And then if I Shred, I can knock out this Darkrai, but then he can hit me for 90 with the next one, and I'm pretty much going to lose the game unless he doesn't have a catcher. So, really, it's just not looking good overall. He uses another Roserade to use Le Parfum to grab a card out of his deck. Not sure which one he actually grabbed. So really, I just kind of have to hope he draws poorly in the late stages of the game if I'm going to want to win. There's really nothing else I can do at this point. So he's going to Night Spear, and probably put 30 on the Giratina EX since he only has 2 more prizes to take. Also, if I shred for a knockout, I could be walking into a Shaman EX. That would be very bad. But here we go. Here is an Ultra Ball. I'm not sure what I should get with this. Probably just a Ho-Oh to discard it, since it's not going to be useful in my deck at all. So let's Juniper away that Ho-Oh. And draw 7. I got a Tool Scrapper. We got Mewtwo out here too. I don't know if I want to bench that Mewtwo, but probably not. I'll try to Rebirth, and finally we get a Ho-Oh into play. So I'll get a Fighting, 2 other energy types as well. That's what Rebirth allows you to do, and then maybe we can start getting into gear. You know, I'll be able to knock out this Darkrai. Maybe if he misses an energy, which seems pretty unlikely given his Giganto hand, but maybe I can pull off some magic with like a double energy switch onto a Terrakion and then Land Crush for the game. The possibilities are there. And also I have the N for next turn. I'm going to put down Mewtwo. I don't know if that's the right move. Probably not. I don't want to give my opponent just another option to catch her out, and then it's stranded there and I lose. So yeah, I should take that back. I'm just trying to thin my hand down for N if he plays one. I hold on to the Tool Scrapper. I don't know if I should have just played that or not. Sometimes I get a little too conservative with the Tool Scrapper. I try to wait until the last possible turn to pull that off. But here we go. I mean, I have 150 hit points left on that Giratina EX. So if my opponent uses that Shaman EX, now there is a Grass on that Darkrai right now, I'm going to end up losing the game. And there's an Ultra Ball. So all it takes is an Energy Switch. And yes, that is a Grass. Energy Switch and another Energy, and I lose the game to a Shaman EX Revenge Blasting me. Which is not good. And even if he doesn't have that, just attaching and using Night Spear is probably more than enough to beat me. I'll have to retreat, and you know, if he has a catcher, then I just lose to another Night Spear. I don't play anything like Eviolite in this deck, and no healing cards or Super Scoop Ups or anything like that, so it's pretty much just dead to 2 Night Spears. All he needs to do is take those last 2 prizes, and my opponent's taken a very long time to search out with this Ultra Ball. So does he not have a Shaman EX? And oh, he says I prized him. Oh no, his little champion is prized. And that's going to give me a little hope here. I'm going to survive the turn. We see a Roserade come out. So another Le Parfum here. He should be able to pull off some sort of Night Spear this turn, I would think. If not, that would be very strange. But we'll see what happens. Searching through his deck. I'm not too sure what my odds are of actually winning this game anymore. But oh, he attaches to Roserade. Strange decision. And he's going to send it up and go for a squeeze. Gonna energy switch up there. Not too sure why he's doing this one. I mean, he could have just Night Speared, and then I would have lost. I'm pretty sure. So now, he's actually given me a chance to win the game. I'm gonna play this Tool Scrapper just to get rid of the Eviolite, because I don't want to be end at this point. I mean, man, it just opened up the door for me. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna put down the Mewtwo for sure. Drop an energy on it. I really just want to thin out my hand as much as possible so that if he does play an N, I'm going to be okay and draw the cards I need to win the game. Basically, I just need a catcher after this turn to win. Now, there's 60 damage on the Giratina EX, so clearly the Shaman EX is prized, and he's in no danger of being knocked out. Not even a like Mewtwo energy switch would knock me out. So, we'll see, guys. I could play an N, but I don't think I should, but I'm going to anyway. I don't think I should have played that N, just because I just need a catcher to win at this point. But at the same time, he needs a Dark Patch and an Energy and a Switch. to attack now. So maybe that N was correct. And now, I shred for the knockout. Giratina EX is getting it done. Who knew? And what does my opponent have here? He's only got 3 cards. He would need like a Dark Patch, Energy Switch, and a Dark to be able to attack me. And there's a Juniper, so oh no. This could actually happen. No! Don't do this to me. Not the Giratina. And at this point, if he Night Spears me this turn, I still lose. And there's the Dark Patch. Oh no. Oh, I lose even if I retreat because he's going to put me up to 150 damage and then just the 30 from Night Spear will knock me out. So unless I draw... I don't even know what to draw anymore. I need a catcher for sure. Or if I draw a second energy switch, I can actually move all my energy to Beautifly and then Drain Pour to remove 40 from my benched Pokemon. Which is going to be silly, but that would be my way to survive a Night Spear. And oh, here's the catcher. So it looks like he doesn't have the cards to Night Spear. And he's just going to retreat. So, wow, I'm going to survive, and you know what? I can just actually win the game. I can retreat, or just move my energy up to Mewtwo and X-Ball. Is Beautifly going to win? I think this is going to happen, folks. I guess, I mean, yeah, he can't play an N. I can retreat. That's going to be it. There's nothing he can do with Sableye. If he Confuse Rays me, even if I get confused, I'll just retreat. And if he Junk Hunts, then I do the same thing. I just win the game. And he acknowledges it, says, you win, GG. And I think, somehow, Beautifly Giratina is going to get this one done. And, oh, I topped like a catcher anyway. Must be nice, Kyle. So yeah, I'm just going to Energy Switch up to Mewtwo. And X-Ball for the game. Wow, what a strange game. Don't know what to say about that, but wow. So thanks for watching, everyone. Beautifly gets the job done, even though it didn't really do anything. But Giratina EX got the job done. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back with more videos soon. I'm Pooka from the Top Cut, and I'll see you next time.